and welcome to Medical Dialogues. I'm Dr. Bhumika. Let's look at today's top medical news. The more one sits, the older one looks. Between long commutes, Zoom-packed workdays, and evenings of streaming and scrolling, millennials now spend more than 60 hours per week sitting, potentially boosting their heart disease risk and accelerating other signs of aging, according to new CU Boulder and University of California Riverside research. The findings were published in PLOS One. The study of more than 1,000 former or current Colorado residents, including 730 twins, is among the first to explore how prolonged sitting impacts health measures such as cholesterol and body mass index in young adults. It found that meeting the minimum recommended physical activity guidelines, about 20 minutes per day of moderate exercise, isn't enough to counter the hazards of spending most waking hours in a seat. The authors analyzed data from participants ranging in age from 28 to 49, average age 33, from CU's Colorado Adoption Twin Study of Lifespan Behavioral Development and Cognitive Aging, which has followed twins and adopted individuals since childhood. Low sugar diet in first 2 years of life may lower risk of diabetes in adults. A low sugar diet in utero and in the first 2 years of life can meaningfully reduce the risk of chronic disease in adulthood, a new study has found, providing compelling new evidence of the lifelong health effects on early life sugar consumption. Published in Science, the study finds that children who experience sugar restrictions during the first 1,000 days after conception had up to 35% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes and as much as 20% less risk of hypertension as adults. Low sugar intake by the mother prior to birth has enough to lower risks, but continued sugar restrictions after birth increase the benefits. Taking advantage of an unintended natural experiment from World War II, researchers examined how sugar rationing during the war influenced long-term health outcomes. The researchers used contemporary data from the UK Biobank, a database of medical histories and genetic, lifestyle and other disease risk factors, to study the effect of those early life sugar restrictions on health outcomes of adults conceived in the UK, just before and after the end of wartime sugar rationing. Sugar intake during rationing was about 8 teaspoons per day on average. When rationing ended, sugar and sweets consumption skyrocketed to about 16 teaspoons per day. Can insomnia therapy during pregnancy reduce postpartum depression? While many people believe that poor sleep during pregnancy is inevitable, new research has determined that cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, that is CBTI, while pregnant can not only improve sleep patterns but also address postpartum depression. The findings were published in Journal of Affective Disorders. Researchers discovered that delivering CBTI during pregnancy significantly reduces postpartum depressive symptoms after a baby arrives. CBTI is a therapeutic intervention that identifies thoughts, behaviors, and sleep patterns that contribute to insomnia. Treatment includes challenging or reframing misconceptions and restructuring habits to improve sleep quality. Is social media responsible for normalizing junk food? An analysis of social media posts that mentions food and beverage products finds that fast food restaurants and sugar-sweetened beverages are the most common, with millions of posts reaching billions of users over the course of a year. The study, published in the open access journal PLOS Digital Health, highlights the sheer volume of content normalizing unhealthy eating and argues that policies are needed to protect young people in the digital food environment. Researchers investigated the frequency and reach of users generated social media posts in Canada in 2020. They identified the 40 food brands with the highest brand shares in Canada and researched for mentions of them on Twitter, Reddit, Tumblr and YouTube by general users of the sites. Thank you for watching Medical Dialogues. Stay tuned for more such updates.
Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe and press the bell icon.